Coffee is a multifaceted experience. But I think what I love about coffee the most is it creates experiences that bring people together. It just does. Coffee is a very relational medium. The vast majority of coffee producers in the world are smallholders. They're small business owners in a way, just like I am. My name is John Pittman, and I'm a music maker. I have been in ministry my whole adult life. I was overseas teaching in a Bible college in South Africa for several years in the 90s, and one of my students who graduated from the program also had a real heart for ministry. And so fast forward a few years, he got out, ended up doing some work in the tech world, and then bought a coffee business. In 2006, he needed somebody to go be a scout at a coffee show. He couldn't leave South Africa to come over here, so he called me up and said, "Hey, can you go look for this thing that I need?" And I was like, "Man, I don't know the first thing about coffee. I'd love to help you, but I don't know that I can help you." He said, "Don't worry about it. I can tell you what I need, yada, yada. You've been through grad school and all this." And so I went to the show, got him what he needed, worked my rear end off, and had a great time. And while I was there, I felt like a kid in a candy shop. I was exposed to a world that I never knew existed. And I just got really excited. It was a lot of fun, but it was intriguing. I found myself wanting to know more. I was drawn towards certain things, and it was fascinating to me. I just couldn't stop thinking about it. So a couple of months after that happened, summer of 2006, by a very weird string of events that I did not orchestrate, came in contact with a company here in town that needed some help. And I needed some part-time work, and so went to work for them. Worked with them for 3 years, went from delivering coffee to roasting coffee. So I am now the sole owner of J. Brooks, but I've had a lot of help along the way. It's just funny how that experience turned into a coffee business down the road. And it's still a learning experience. I'm still, every single day, I'm still learning a lot about coffee, honestly. We have a blast with our customers. Memphis has been wonderful. It's a fantastic community. We love the folks we work with, whether it's some of our high-end grocery clientele or folks that walk in the door and buy directly from us. We have people stopping in here literally every day and getting coffee direct from the roaster, and we're excited to do that. We have a good online presence, so we have a burgeoning retail business where we ship out a number of packages every day. So we're excited about that. The bulk of our business is wholesale, whether it's to Whole Foods, Sprouts, Fresh Market, a lot of our high-end groceries here in Memphis, like Super Low or High Point Grocery, South Point, Miss Cordelia's, places like that. Germantown Hardware sells our coffee, and they turn the coffee over. So we basically roast, package, and deliver. We don't have a lot of inventory sitting around. We just about as quickly as we can get it roasted, it's packaged, and it's out the door. I've got a couple of awesome drivers. I have an awesome team here that work very hard to preserve the freshness and make sure that our customers get the order right the first time, every time. We really shoot for that. But we do a lot of grocery business that helped us in the COVID thing, honestly. We knew that in the Mid-South, we needed to have a presence in grocery to be able to have a presence in the marketplace, and we have a blast. It's interesting that when you take care of your business, you show up when you say you're going to show up, and you deliver a good product time after time. We find that people respond really well to that, and we're so grateful for our partners here. begin with, you have to start with a high quality bean. We only do specialty grade coffees. Specialty grade, the last I knew, represents about 7.5% of the global supply of coffee. So we are literally sourcing from the top 7.5% of coffee in the world. So that's really the first step, is you start with a high quality bean. For it to be graded specialty, it means that it has to be grown at high altitude. The higher altitude, cooler temperatures lengthen the ripening season, so it allows more time for the flavor compounds in the cherries to develop. It also has to be zero defect, meaning it's very labor intensive, so there's a lot of process and time that goes into processing the coffee so that you take out the defects. There are diseased beans, there are genetic malformations, there's insect damage, there's foreign matter, sticks and stones and leaves and things like that. It's an agricultural product, but there are ways to cull all of that out. And then it's also picked several times during the harvest season, so you're just getting ripe cherries. It's just like with fruit. We don't want to eat a rotten apple. We don't want to eat an apple that's not ripe yet. Coffee's a fruit, and so it's picked at its peak of freshness or its ripeness. So what you're doing when you get a nice specialty coffee is you're just getting flavor in the cup. It's free of defect. It's had longer time to mature and develop its flavor compounds, and you're taking care of that product so that what you're getting is just flavor and it's not tainted with a lot of bad things in it. The first thing that comes to my mind when you ask me about Memphis is how proud I am of being in Memphis. And I'm not blowing smoke on this. With all the unrest we've had in this country over, I would say since 2015, since some of the unfortunate events happened that year, it kind of blew the lid off some things. And we've had our issues in Memphis, and we do have our issues. Every large city has challenges and obstacles and things that we're not proud of, things that you want to fix or help with. You can't find an urban community anywhere in the world that would be able to avoid making that claim. But I think something that distinguishes us in Memphis is we've not had the lid blow off. I think that reasonable minds have prevailed here. There's a lot of community support. There's a lot of racial unity in Memphis. And I think that's a miracle. I think it's a miracle of God. There is a lot of bridge building in this city. There's a lot of genuine community activity in this city. There's a sense of friendship. There's a sense of familiarity. There's a sense of helping one another. And you find that wherever you go as well. But I think in Memphis, it has shown forth more prominently by the trouble we have avoided. But I'm very proud of the way that people in Memphis have said, we don't want to devolve into hurting one another. We want to preserve what we've built here. And there are just too many people to mention, too many organizations to count that have all contributed to that. So I don't know all the reasons why that is, but that's the reality at street level here. It's an excellent place to be. We have found such a pleasure working with our commercial partners. There's a sense of commonality here, a sense of brotherhood, a sense of shared investment, a sense of shared legacy. There are just so many things that I think we've matured in Memphis. And I don't say that cockily, I say it humbly, because we still have work to do. We are really working on our online presence. We have been very grateful that our audience has expanded across the country. People will visit Memphis, and there are several bed and breakfast folks here in town, or restaurants that they'll visit, and they'll end up tasting our coffee, then they'll go back home and start ordering online, and that's very gratifying. So two things that we're really focusing on in the immediate future. One is that we're trying to beef up our online presence, and so we have a new website that's super easy to use. We have a subscription model that allows you to customize what you want to get and how frequently you want to get it. And of course, ground and whole bean are the same price. So people can really customize according to their needs and their wishes to receive fresh coffee all the time. But coffee at its heart, coffee, when it all comes down, is a very relational medium that brings people together. And honestly, that's what I love most about coffee. I love the taste, but I love the experience of sharing coffee with other people, whether it's one person or several. There's just nothing else like it in the world. And I'm very honored and humbled to be a part of that.